Tina Turner was known around the world as the Queen of Rock and Roll. Her powerful voice, unforgettable stage performances, and inspiring life story made her one of the greatest music stars in history. Millions of fans admired her strength after she escaped an abusive marriage and rebuilt her career from nothing. To the public, she seemed almost unstoppable, a woman who turned pain into success and became a symbol of courage. But behind the bright lights, sold-out concerts, and countless awards was another side of Tina's life that many people knew very little about. Long before she became an international superstar, she was a mother. Like many parents, she faced difficult choices, heartbreaking moments, and painful family struggles that no amount of fame or money could fix. Tina raised 4 sons, each with a very different personality and life journey. Some stayed away from the spotlight, while others followed music in different ways. Sadly, 2 of her sons died before she did, while the others lived lives marked by personal challenges and emotional wounds. Their stories are filled with love, disappointment, hope, and loss. They also show that even one of the world's biggest celebrities could not protect her children from life's hardships. Tina often spoke about the importance of family, but she also admitted that motherhood was one of the most difficult parts of her life. Looking back, the lives of her 4 sons tell a story that is deeply human. It is not simply about fame or fortune. It is about relationships, healing, forgiveness, and the lasting effects of childhood experiences. Understanding what happened to Tina Turner's children gives us a more complete picture of the woman behind the legend and reminds us that every family carries struggles that the public may never fully see. Craig Raymond Turner was Tina Turner's first child and the only one born before her marriage to Ike Turner. He entered the world in 1958 when Tina was still known by her birth name, Anna Mae Bullock. His biological father was Raymond Hill, a saxophone player who worked with Ike Turner's band. Before Craig was born, Raymond Hill left the relationship, leaving Tina to face motherhood alone at a very young age. A few years later, Tina married Ike Turner, who legally adopted Craig and gave him the Turner family name. Although Craig became part of the Turner household, his childhood was far from peaceful. Behind closed doors, he witnessed the violent and abusive relationship between Tina and Ike. Tina later shared that Craig was a quiet and sensitive child who noticed everything happening around him. One memory stayed with her forever. After one frightening argument, young Craig softly knocked on her bedroom door and asked if she was okay. That simple question broke her heart because it showed that her son understood far more than any child should. As Craig grew older, he remained a private person. Unlike his famous parents, he never wanted a life in entertainment. Instead, he looked for stability and normalcy. After serving in the United States Navy, he built a successful career as a real estate agent in Los Angeles. Friends described him as kind, respectful, and hardworking. To many people, he appeared to have built a comfortable life. He avoided celebrity attention and focused on his career, hoping to create a peaceful future that was very different from the chaos he had experienced as a child. For many years, Tina believed Craig had finally found happiness. He had started a promising new position in real estate and spoke excitedly about a woman he had recently fallen in love with. According to Tina, he sounded happier than he had in years. He even planned to introduce his new partner to his mother during an upcoming birthday celebration. Everything suggested that life was moving in a positive direction. That is why the news that followed shocked everyone who knew him. On July 3, 2018, Craig Turner died by suicide at the age of 59. His death left Tina completely heartbroken. In later interviews, she admitted that she never imagined her son was carrying such deep emotional pain. Looking back, she remembered their final phone conversation differently. Craig had told her that he simply wanted to hear her voice and her laugh. At the time, those words sounded loving and ordinary. Only after his death did Tina believe they may have been his way of saying goodbye. She later scattered Craig's ashes into the Pacific Ocean during a private ceremony surrounded by close family and friends. She described it as the saddest moment she had ever experienced as a mother. Even after all the success she had achieved, losing her first child became a pain that never truly disappeared. Craig's story reminds us that emotional wounds are often hidden beneath the surface. People may seem successful, calm, and happy while quietly struggling with pain that others cannot see. His life also reminds us that childhood experiences can leave lasting emotional scars. Tina carried that loss with her for the rest of her life, speaking openly about the importance of checking on loved ones and showing compassion whenever possible. Craig may have stayed away from the spotlight, but his life became one of the most emotional chapters in Tina Turner's remarkable story. Growing up in the Turner family was never simple, and no one understood that better than Ike Turner Jr. Although many people assumed he was Tina Turner's biological son, He was actually the son of Ike Turner and Lorraine Taylor. When Tina married Ike in 1962, she welcomed Ike Jr. into her life and treated him as one of her own children. Over the years, he often said that Tina was the only mother he truly knew. As a child, he lived in a world that was very different from that of most young boys. Instead of spending his days on quiet neighborhood streets, he traveled with one of the biggest music acts in America. Recording studios, concert halls, tour buses, and backstage dressing rooms became a normal part of his life. Surrounded by talented musicians, Ike Jr. quickly developed a love for music. He learned to play several instruments and spent countless hours practicing while watching his father and Tina perform. Tina encouraged his musical interests and wanted him to develop his talents, believing that hard work would help him build a successful future. Yet behind all the excitement, another reality existed inside the Turner home. Ike Jr. witnessed the fear and violence that shaped his childhood. He saw arguments that no child should ever see and lived with constant uncertainty. When Tina finally left Ike Turner in 1976, it changed everyone's lives forever. The family that had once appeared united in public suddenly fell apart. Even though Ike Jr. wanted to maintain a close relationship with Tina, doing so created conflict with his father. Years later, he claimed that his father became angry because he continued working with Tina and even physically attacked him. Those painful memories stayed with him for many years. Even after becoming an adult, he often spoke about how difficult it was to grow up loving two parents who had become enemies. His childhood taught him that family relationships are not always simple, and sometimes love can exist alongside pain and disappointment. Despite everything he experienced, Ike Turner Jr. refused to give up on music. Instead of allowing his difficult childhood to define his future, he worked hard to build a career of his own. He became a producer, engineer, songwriter, and musician, slowly earning respect within the music industry. His biggest professional achievement came in 2007 when he received a Grammy Award for helping produce one of his father's blues albums. It was an emotional moment because it recognized his talent while also reminding him of the complicated relationship he had with his father. Throughout the years, he continued recording music, performing with different artists, and keeping the Turner musical legacy alive. However, success in his career did not erase the emotional distance that had grown within the family. In interviews, Ike Jr. admitted that his relationship with Tina became weaker over time. He explained that after Tina rebuilt her life in Europe with her husband, their communication became very limited. He said he had not spoken to her for many years and accepted that she wanted to leave much of her painful past behind. His comments did not sound bitter. Instead, they reflected sadness and understanding. He recognized that Tina had survived years of abuse and perhaps needed distance to find peace. Even so, the lack of regular contact remained difficult for him. Just weeks before Tina passed away in 2023, Ike Jr. faced his own legal troubles after being arrested on drug-related charges. The timing made the situation even more heartbreaking because he learned about Tina's death while dealing with his own personal struggles. His story reminds us that healing from childhood trauma is often a lifelong journey. Success, awards, and talent cannot always erase painful memories. Even those who appear strong on the outside may continue carrying emotional burdens from many years earlier. While Ike Turner Jr. remained connected to music, his younger brother Michael Turner chose a much quieter life. Michael rarely appeared in interviews and stayed almost completely out of the public eye. Very little is known about his daily life because he never sought fame or attention. Like Ike Jr., Michael was the biological son of Ike Turner and Lorraine Taylor, and Tina helped raise him after marrying Ike. Although she was technically his stepmother, she cared for him as one of her own children. Friends and family have suggested that Michael was naturally shy and preferred privacy from an early age. Living inside a home filled with arguments and violence affected him deeply. When Tina left Ike Turner, Michael reportedly struggled to accept that the family had fallen apart. According to his brother, the separation had a serious emotional impact on him and eventually led to health problems. As the years passed, Michael remained distant from public life while facing personal battles that few people knew about. Reports suggested that he struggled with addiction and other difficulties, though he rarely spoke publicly about them. In one of his few known comments, Michael admitted that he believed both Tina and Ike would probably help him if he asked, but he found it difficult to reach out. Those words revealed just how complicated family relationships can become after years of emotional pain. Later in life, Michael experienced serious health problems, including strokes and seizures that left him needing full-time care. He eventually moved into a care facility in Southern California, where he received medical support. Although Tina did not often appear publicly with him, Reports indicated that she quietly helped pay for some of his